What is happening? It's the Nintendo Powercast, episode 373. I'm your host, N64 Josh. Crawler, what is up, dude?
Hey, how's it going? Crawler coming at you.
Johnny, how are you?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm doing good. And
The only non-married one now. Nice.
And Cheesy, how are you?
What's going on, cheese curds?
Congratulations on getting hitched.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, there you go. So, before we jump into this, you guys, look, okay, I know we've been in a little bit of a bummer mood over the last couple episodes, but the winds of change are blowing through Cheesy's hair. Okay, Splatoon is here to save us. We're gonna start mixing some things up. One of the things I really want to focus on is community game nights. So starting tomorrow night, if you're listening to this actually on audio, it's probably tonight. I'm just guessing. So Friday, July 8th, I'm gonna shoot for around 4 p.m. Pacific. We're doing Monster Hunter community night. So if you have Monster Hunter or you're brand new to it, whatever it may be, come hang out. We're going to help people get started for the first time. We're going to jump into some Sunbreak. We're probably going to break off into different groups and use the voice chat in the Discord. I know I'm going to be streaming. There may be some other people streaming. Like, we just want to have some fun playing some games, okay? Then, 4 p.m. Saturday, 4 p.m. PST, we're going to be playing Fall Guys. Custom matches. That means we can have up to 60 of you. But I will tell you this. If I go live on TikTok, based on what Johnny has told me, it's going to be a fight to get into the games. So make sure you're there. Make sure you're ready. And we're going to have some fun. We have a Patreon for this show. Patreon.com/Nintendo Powercast. If you want to hear NPC Wired, which it goes a little crazy. You can sign up there. Also, if you don't want any ads, you get it ad free as well. So there you go. Smash tournaments happening, and n64josh.com/smash. And we're going to jump into this thing here. The big news of the week, the Switch Pro.
Yes.
Oh, wait. I mean, the Splatoon 3 OLED. John, I'm going to go ahead and go to you because I feel like you were the most excited about potential Switch Pro, like based on your screaming at Nintendo on Twitter after after this OLED got announced. So go ahead and walk us through it.
Okay, so if you guys didn't know, the reason why people thought a new hardware was going to be announced is because the OLED trailer and the Lite trailer got privated on the Nintendo YouTube channel. And the last time that happened was with the Lite trailer, and then the OLED was announced like right after that happened. So everybody was thinking, new hardware. And I guess we did get new hardware, but it's still on the old, archaic 30 FPS sometimes. Fall Guys runs at like 3 FPS.
Positive. We said
Splatoon
positive. We
OLED.
said positive.
It looks pretty, but it's still the OLED archaic hardware. That's why I went first, because I was the negative one.
Can I buy these Joy-Cons somewhere? That's what I want to know.
No. Because you can't buy the white Joy-Cons anywhere, right?
I guess not. Not yet.
I just want a quick shout out to Nintendo for putting more graphics on these Joy-Cons than 2 lines that were on the gray Smash Joy-Cons.
What's on the back? Cheesy, do you know what that is on the back?
Yeah, it's squids and octolings.
It's graffiti.
It's just, well, are you talking about on the back of the Joy-Con?
Joy-Con, yeah.
It's just like the design that's on the tentacles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crawler, what are your thoughts on this
I mean, it's pretty. I just bought one. I kind of wish I don't know. I wish I had waited. I guess if I was gonna buy a new one, that's how they get you. I guess. I'm gonna.
yeah.
They got a pro. I need to find pro controller stuff.
Oh, that trailer doesn't have the Pro controller.
No. That was from Nintendo's site. Let's see here.
Cheesy, what are your thoughts when this launched? How excited were you? How many T-shirts did you ruin because you're I'm not gonna say it on here.
Oh my god. So I don't know.
That's on
what
the
it
Wired
is.
episode.
Yeah, that's for later.
There is something about waking up at the exact right time. Like I just have this internal clock in me where if Nintendo is posting something at the time that I wake up, which is random, sometimes it's like 5 or 6 or 7, it just depends. I don't know. I woke up and that tweet like just happened, and you guys may not be that excited for it. This is my Switch Pro. Like I will be using this thing everywhere. And yeah, I just got an OLED, so I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be trading that in and getting
You're not
this.
keeping it?
I'm
You
not,
can do so
man.
many things with multiple Switches.
So that's the bummer part of it is like I'm looking at all of the transfers I'm gonna have to do again. But for this Splatoon Switch, like it's worth it.
The trick is just only put certain games on certain Switches, and then you're mostly physical anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, you're golden. You're golden. Yeah. When I know I need to play Pokemon, I just grab my Smash Switch.
But
because I don't transfer it because I didn't know there was a video out there that could do that.
Splatoon 2 doesn't have cloud saves, so
True.
You have to transfer.
You
you
gotta
gotta physically transfer it.
Which I did before, and everything was good, so I'm okay with doing it again.
GameStop's pretty good with letting you do it in the store, right? When you buy one.
Yeah. The Pro controller, the carrying case, that was something that they didn't show in the trailer, like Johnny was saying, but it makes me so happy. Like if you are a Splatoon fan or a Monster Hunter fan, this is your year. Like you're being fed so well.
This has me confident that there's going to be a Xenoblade 3 Pro controller too.
Was there a Xenoblade?
There was a Xenoblade 2.
Yeah.
I think that's probably.
Well, no, that's your collector's edition that nobody could get.
Positive, Johnny. Positive.
No, I gotta bring it down.
I love the look of this. I think it looks fantastic. I love that it's the controller looks fantastic. I love the ink splatters everywhere. The color scheme is cool. Initially, I thought it was a black Joy-Con though. The way the trailer started, where I would like, and the way I was watching, I was like, "Whoa, we're finally getting like a black Joy." I don't know. I think it was just the way it turned and the lighting and the shadows and stuff. I was like, but then once I love the gradient. I like. We need more Joy-Cons like this. I mean, I'm rocking the Legend of Zelda ones right now on my OLED, but I always looked at the Smash Switch and I was like, why is the dock so rad? And the Joy-Cons are like, they're literally like, yo, we got extra grays. Let's paint a silver stripe on them. Like it just felt super, super underwhelming. And then, especially when like the Pro controller comes out and they have white on it and you're like, why doesn't the Smash Switch have white Joy-Cons?
Right.
This just it's the Animal Crossing Switch kind of took things to the next level. Then the Mario Switch was a complete bummer, and just like this is just
both Mario Switches, because they had one with dual red Joy-Con for Odyssey launch, and then they had the red dock and blue overall. Were those blue Joy-Con with that one, or was that
red? It literally red. The whole. I'm looking at the whole thing is just red. It's just red.
But then AC stepped it up, and then the Joy-Con for Zelda, where the Hylian Shield ones are really cool.
Yeah.
And then just the white ones were so clean.
Mm-hmm.
It's just been getting better. I mean, initially the watermelon launch of Joy-Con, that was, I think everyone expected more from Joy-Con once watermelon came out, and then it kind of just, they didn't come out with stuff after that. It was lackluster. I think there was the Wario, not even, it was, you had to like buy 2 different Joy-Con sets to get it. Because I have the purple, I forget even which ones go with which. I think it was purple and orange.
Purple and orange and blue and yellow, which yellow had
the blue doubles. And yellow had made me upset because it's a different gradient of blue, but it's the exact same dual neon yellow that I have. So I didn't buy those. I think that's the only set of Joy-Con I don't. Well, that and I don't have a regular black Joy-Con or gray or whatever they're called.
You have the Fortnite ones?
You had to buy those. Were those separate? Those were separate. I didn't buy those.
Yeah,
no.
separate.
So those are probably pretty valuable now because those, I don't see those in stores ever anymore.
But for the audio listeners, the Joy-Con on the Splatoon Switch are really cool because on the left Joy-Con, you have it where it's blue on the top and then it gets to more purple on the bottom. And then on the right Joy-Con, it's yellow and then kind of goes into a green. And that is really cool. Like, I wish that's something that we would see more of, or we would have seen more of when the Switch first came out. Definitely adds a lot of personality to it.
I kind of wish they could.
What's the theories? What theories do you think are going to come out of this for the actual game with these gradient colors? I know you deep dived into this.
I actually haven't, but now you got like my mind reeling because I just was thinking it's Splatoon, like it's just colorful, Joy-Con and
one has the Octoling, one has the
mammalians. And that was coming back.
The mammalians are coming back. What does blue and yellow have to do with Splatoon?
Well, so yeah, I'm a little disappointed with the Pro Controller because the colors for Splatoon 3 have been purple and yellow. And when you look at that Pro Controller, it's more of like a blue and kind of a lime green.
Is it the same Pro Controller?
My Pro Controller is downstairs.
I think so. With different.
Pull up the Pro.
Hold on. I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
I had the same question as we were looking at it. I'm like,
is it the same?
I think it's the same. The same controller. They just changed out the handles on the side.
I mean, you can't find these like retail anymore.
Mm-mm.
So, all right, hold on. There's something different.
It is different. It's not the exact same.
It's not the same, but it's pretty close.
Very close. Is there stuff on the back on ours? There is.
Yeah. The ink splatter's a little bit different.
The ink splatters are different. The graffiti's different.
A little different. Great. Now I got to buy it. Cool.
This, I mean, not that we can ever try to like figure Nintendo out, but man, I hope that if Mario Kart ever gets new game, that we get to
Where's
see
Wave 2? Where's Wave 2? Maybe with Wave 2 we'll get a
I mean, just look at the box art that they put on Pro Controllers now. I mean, it's it's clean. This one.
Do you want to know why I'm being negative about this Splatoon?
Why?
Because you want it and you don't want to.
I don't want it to sell. I don't want Splatoon 3 to sell. All right.
Oh man.
Are you sick? You're ready to die on that hill, right?
14.9999 million copies, but once it hits 15 million, so if I dissuade somebody from buying it, that might save me.
You're buying it.
I'll say, I said it will make 15 million within 6 months, which is crazy. It's not going to do that well within 6 months, but it is going to do really well. I mean, 15 million was over 5 years, so it's not going to do like crazy amount of numbers within that short amount of time, but the fact that they are making a Splatoon Switch, the Pro Controller carrying case, like we are underestimating how big Splatoon is, especially in Japan. Maybe it's more niche here, and I think it is starting to grow, but it still is a niche title in the States. But in Japan, this game is going to sell like crazy.
So, going back to the Pro Controller, I'm scrolling down and I saw a side by side of the old Splatoon 1 and the watermelon Joy-Con next to it. Is this a cop-out, the color scheme on the Pro Controller, because they already have the blue and yellow, neon yellow Joy-Con? There's going to be no new Joy-Con that come out associated with...
Well, there's the Joy-Con on the Switch.
On the Switch, but like they aren't going to...
You gotta spend $350
yeah,
to get it.
The top of the Joy-Cons are both blue and yellow on the Switch, and the top and the
Well, and then the back molding is also white-ish or whatever.
Yeah. So I mean, it's still matching the overall color scheme. I mean, it looks great, and I mean, even looking at the picture, I'm looking at the thumbnail for the video. And, I'm looking at like Team Yellow is what the Inklings are, but then a lot of their weapons have the blue on them as well, which I think was pretty intentional for this photo that I think came right out of the video. So, the thing looks great. It looks really good. I hope Nintendo gives this game I hope Splatoon 3 can kind of start just making a new path when it comes to like esports and Nintendo. And I mean, we saw Nintendo supporting Splatoon 2 over this last week and weekend with different tournaments and things like that. So there is the potential there. I hope this game is massive, not because I want to see Johnny lose, but
you do.
But he doesn't lose. They'll be
true. That is true.
I don't lose. Yeah, I don't lose. I want Splatoon. I love Splatoon. Splatoon is my most played Switch game, and it like started my whole
why are you so bad at
content creation journey. So I love Splatoon. It's a lot of me like spectating because I'm getting splatted a lot. So like 450 hours I probably played like 20.
Hold on, I'm sorry, I'm finding something.
Just crawler, just bringing the
we still gotta decide on the stakes for this bet.
Wasn't it a bikini photo shoot or something like that?
No, that was for Switch Sports.
What's the bet on that one?
20 million, I think.
Yeah.
20 million in a year. I don't know.
You guys have a gambling problem. Did you ever hear that?
It's for the content. It's for the content. All right. So if you become a Patreon, you could vote on what you want the stakes to be. And possibly get access to a bikini photo shoot exclusive to patrons of Cheesy. I'm not offering myself.
I'll pay double for that. So Servant or Servant 117 said, I want custom Joy-Cons like the Xbox Design Lab.
They're already $80.
Move to Japan. Move to Japan and you can.
Do they have that in Japan?
Yes. No, I mean,
what?
Wait. Okay. You can pick the color scheme that you want on your Switch in Japan. So it's not
of any of the available colors.
It's not Design Lab level where you're getting different colored buttons and that kind of stuff. But
there's Etsy shops that do that.
It's true. That's true. Servant 117 also says, how about a Splatoon neck tattoo for the stakes? No? Yes?
Maybe not on the neck. I have a job, all right? That job would not like me having a neck tattoo.
Servant also asks, will Splatoon 3 outsell Monster Hunter.
What are the official number? The official numbers
Monster
are
Hunter's
10
still at
million,
10
right?
million.
Yeah.
Yes, it will.
And that's with PC.
Oh, that's with PC?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Sunbreak sold 2 million already?
So far.
And that is its second most successful property in the Monster Hunter franchise.
Yeah, with a total
just
of
behind World.
84 million units sold.
Is World like 14 or something like that? Or is it
World
more than that?
World is 21
World
million
is on
units.
more platforms.
Yeah,
though,
it's
right?
on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation.
It's
You could've got that
21
for,
million
like,
units
$5
sold.
for a while.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean that went on sale a lot. Like I don't
Yeah.
know if those numbers are.
It was even on, and it was on Game Pass as well, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
might still be actually. It seems to come and go pretty regularly.
And that was.
Well, I will take the yes on that if anybody wants to take the no.
And World was a game that was in with the PlayStation 5 owners to claim, I think, as well.
I see. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, but speaking of Monster Hunter, we've spent a little bit of time with it. So far, so good. I will say that I was actually doing the right mission to get into the game, but
you just didn't have people to do it with.
There was nobody to join me,
so you couldn't do it.
I'm gonna just pretend I didn't hear that, Johnny, and we're gonna keep on going. But no, and like I said at the beginning of the show, we're gonna do a community game. I was talking about it on TikTok today, and there's a number of people that are like either way into the series or want to get into it for the first time, and it's not a game that is fun to play. I don't enjoy playing by myself. There are some people that do, but I don't. Like,
and if you don't have it and you want to coordinate and get an experience, you can get through, because I think the multiplayer works in the demo, right? So you can get 3 other people to download the demo with you, and you can try it out if you don't own the game, and kind of play along with Josh tomorrow and kind of ask questions or get some information, but also get a feel for the game. And I think there's both aspects of Rise base game and Sunbreak, I think, in the demo, I believe, right? I didn't play the demo.
You're gonna get the base mechanics. You're gonna understand the fundamentals for sure. And so this isn't gonna be I'm probably gonna be live for 3 to 4 hours at least, is my guess. Playing Monster Hunter and jumping between rooms and yeah, it's gonna be a great time. If you have questions, show up to that stream. And we can flag questions and help you guys get a better understanding of the game. I have 65 hours in Rise. I was surprised.
We played a lot. I'd have to look up.
What's your rank?
29 or 30.
I think you hit 30 or 31 when we were playing the other day.
Yeah.
Now there's master ranks and stuff. I don't know what you have to do to hit those.
You're in it. If you're going to have an urgent quest as soon as you start. You're going to be able to we're going to fight a crab for you. Once we beat that crab. Yeah, once you beat that crab, then they send you to the new location. The Sunbreak location.
My playtime didn't transfer with the new Switch.
If you load the game, that
is a pet peeve of mine.
In the inside game counter. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
When you transfer your stuff from a Switch to another, it resets your playtime.
Sometimes. Mario Kart didn't reset for me, which is very weird. I think Splatoon reset, even though you transfer the file save over.
Oh, that's a bummer. Mine is still the same.
Did it?
Yeah.
I think it's based on like if it's one of your top games. Like my Smash didn't reset.
Nintendo decides what's important for you. know your numbers.
Yeah, but if you guys listened to the NPC Mini, you heard me talk about the sales for Sunbreak being at 2 million and kind of just talking about that game. But like, Cheesy, I'm curious where you're at. Like you've heard us talk about it quite a bit. Are you eventually going to take the plunge? You picked up Rise, right?
No, he played the demo weekend, right?
I played the trial.
Okay. And was it enough to for you to justify a purchase, or are you still kind of on the fence, or just feel there's obviously games that aren't for everybody, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I think I'm on the fence. I really love the way that the game looks and all the creativeness that goes behind it and how you can team up with people. I think it's one of those things where it's like you just kind of started too late. And even though like you can start at any time, for me, I wish I would have started with everybody else and knew what I was doing. Because the person that I was playing with before, they were like top tier everything. And so they were doing all the work and I just had a stick and I'm like, look at me, I'm doing it, you know? But I don't think I was doing anything. I was like the little sibling who got a controller that wasn't actually plugged in.
That wasn't plugged in. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but it made me feel good about myself.
The biggest challenge about that when you're playing Monster Hunter is don't die, because if you die 3 times, you fail the hunt. So just don't die. That's the biggest challenge.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do like the idea of it. I just don't know if it's for me.
Well, if you get it,
yeah,
we will dedicate one night a week to play and get you caught up.
Okay. All right. I like that.
So
I'm at 79 hours.
Well, so how does that work though? Because I have to play through like the campaign.
We would have to go back in and do basic hunts with you for base game Rise, because you have to beat the main boss.
That's what I thought.
The base game.
Okay.
But the way it works is you only have to do key quests within each of the ranks.
We could push you through pretty quick.
And then you'll get your urgent quest, and then you would be caught up on it would probably take, I mean, depending on how long our sessions were, I'm just guessing, but probably, and I think they give you gear with Sunbreak that helps you be a little bit higher level and makes you a little bit stronger. And so I mean, just guessing, probably anywhere from like 15 to 30 hours is what it could take to get you.
Okay.
But that's with us who are high enough level that we'll be able to run through stuff relatively quick. And I know we've discussed like content and stuff a lot, but Monster Hunter nails it when it comes to content. There's so much in this game that I don't even care if I understand most of it, because I'm having fun with what I enjoy.
You know, it's funny. I think Monster Hunter to me is like the World Cup. Like anytime I see people that are excited for the World Cup, I am so happy for them. And it's like a large group of people that care about this one thing. And I just can't get into it. And I'm jealous. Like I wish that I could, but it's like, I just can't get into it. And I have a friend who is crazy about Monster Hunter. And anytime that there's news, she is so excited. And I'm happy for her, but I just don't think it's my kind of game.
That's how I always was, because I did want to get into it, and it's very intimidating. There's many different weapons to choose from. There's lots of different armor and all sorts of stuff.
There's dancing cats. I mean, like there's so much going on.
That should sell you there. I mean, why would?
But like I tried World.
Dancing cats?
I tried World, and World was the entry point for a lot of people. I think Josh, were we in the middle of Destiny content like at that point? Or Destiny was winding down. I think we were still just maybe Switch stuff, and I wasn't super into spending time. I bought it and I tried it out a little bit, but I was skeptical when Rise came around. But Rise, I think, was even more accessible. It's just on less platforms, so less people I think are taking notice of it. World came to everything. Not everything. Came to everything but Switch.
World is a little more like basic than the past games. It was really a good entry level. Rise also is, because of how many of the quality of life things that they've improved, to where like
once you're in the area of the hunt, you're just in it. You don't have to move room to room to room, which was so off-putting to me when I tried. I think it's the OG on PSP.
Yeah.
I mean that I think that was hardware limitations, right? They couldn't.
That was hardware limitations, but like at that point in my gaming life, I was like taking looking at reviews on games and stuff like that, and Monster Hunter reviewed so well. And I read the reviews and I was skeptical of it. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this, but I picked it up anyway. But it's very convoluted, the original iteration of it. And
I had it on PSP and I was like, what am I playing? What is this? It makes no sense. Why am I already at the boss? Why have I not played through and killed a bunch of minions? What is going on here? Why do I have to hit the A button so many times to get through the story? I just want to hunt stuff and look like the cool guy on the cover, and I do not look like that. And
you
I'm
don't look like
now.
the cool guy on the cover at all.
No.
But and there's a lot of resource management and other stuff. There still is in this game. Like coming back to this game, I'm like, I have no idea what I'm looking at in my I have tons of resources that I've collected and stuff that I can make and craft and do, but it's like I don't know. We just go out and hunt. we make some pitfall traps and some sleep potions and stuff like that. When we were rolling 4 deep and we know what we were doing. When
one of us knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
Shout out to David.
But we got better at our hunts, that we were weakening and then trapping and getting more resources for our armor and our weapon upgrades and stuff like that. And now all that stuff is obsolete and there's new stuff to go chase. So I mean it's exciting to have new stuff and some of these more higher level quests you have to kill or trap 2 monsters out of the 3 that are on the map, and there's a new jungle world to go explore. I don't know if there's more regions in. I'm hopeful, I guess, that as we progress through, because I think each step up in the base game we got at least one or two.
I think it's only one region. I think it's only
one new region. Okay.
Yeah.
But still, it's nice that there's at least something new, and the new region is actually pretty fun to play around in.
And how far is the DLC going? Is it going into 2023?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there's multiple stages that they're going to be releasing stuff.
That's awesome.
They do free content updates a lot. Like Monster Hunter, there's a ton of things that there's a bunch of like quests, like collab quests that we haven't done.
Yeah, there's Mega Man stuff that we have yet to go collect. So I think your Palamute can be Rush, and I think your Palico can be Mega Man or something like that. I'm not sure. There's crazy stuff, and then there's Street Fighter collabs and stuff as well. Like
Kuma
with Capcom having like well-known franchises to kind of inject into this is pretty cool.
Oh, it's they try to keep their game alive with content updates constantly. It must be nice.
Wow, you're not salty coming off Halo podcast at all, are you?
I feel like my blood pressure.
Well, I wasn't even talking about Halo. Halo's one of them, but
he was talking about Strikers. What we
talking about
Strikers. Not to talk about Strikers anymore. Strikers is not allowed unless we're doing community.
We don't talk about Strikers anymore, just like Nintendo doesn't talk about Strikers anymore.
No, they tweet about it, and I make TikToks about it because it cracks me up. Because everybody's like, "Where's the content? This game is."
And Johnny's tweets are always
I'm always the first one to comment
because it's friend comments.
Give me a reason to play. The game had so much potential.
So jump into Monster Hunter. That's what we're saying. The last thing that we could talk about that I know a couple of us, I picked it up. I have yet to play, but I know Crawler and Johnny have played. Cheesy, have you played the Delicious Last Course?
Not yet. I'm saving that for stream because I beat Cuphead on stream. So I know that my viewers want to see me play the DLC. I was playing Portal, so little different of a game.
Well, let's stop on Portal.
You played it on Switch?
Yeah, I played it on Switch.
How's it looking?
Yeah,
it's fine. I mean, how old is that game?
360 era.
Yeah,
Portal
plays
1 is
early
07.
Yeah, it plays great. Yeah, I haven't played 2 yet. I just played the first one. And that game, I mean,
Cake is a lie.
Unfortunately, nobody told me, and I was really excited for Cake.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I knew that going in. But
you got the cake at the wedding. You're good.
I did get the cake. I almost didn't though. There was a point where I was like, I pulled Hannah aside. I was like, hey, we need to go have cake because if we don't, like, we're gonna miss that opportunity.
Were you in mind,
drunken
state
stupor.
of mind that was. This is a family-friendly podcast.
Yeah, I had a lot.
Did you have a lot of juice?
A lot of
fermented juice?
A lot of apple juice. Yeah.
Cider guy, huh?
Yeah.
It's so damn hot.
But
Milk was a bad choice.
yeah, don't drink milk on your wedding. This is not a good idea. But yeah, going back to Portal, that game is great, and that was my first time playing it. It was a game I always wanted to play.
Yeah.
So playing the puzzles for the first time were a lot of fun, and I can see going back and playing them like maybe a year from now. You won't remember like what to do, and you'll have to
because there's so many puzzles. There are so many puzzles that
and then there's like bonus rooms too after you beat the game.
So you beat Portal 1 already then?
Yeah, I did. And you get a little catchy song at the end, which I loved.
Portal 2, you've never played Portal 2 yet?
I haven't. I have a friend that wants to do the multiplayer together.
The writing in Portal 2 is amazing.
Okay. I thought the writing in this game was great. It makes me sad that they're not making more games because I just think it's a really clever puzzle game. And
Valve,
like some of them,
Valve
you really
make games.
You have to think on your
Steam and Steam Deck.
They don't know how to make a third iteration of anything.
Yeah.
Stop it too.
Yeah.
Steam Deck's gonna stop it too.
I mean, the current gaming market is like ripe for Team Fortress to have another go as well. Like, where is Valve?
Half-Life. Well, I mean, honestly, the biggest bummer.
Orange Box 2, just do it.
But the biggest bummer is that we only got Portal on Switch and not the Orange Box. Because if the Switch had gotten the Orange Box, that would have been a fantastic get.
People still play Team Fortress 2.
Oh yeah, there's a pretty large community.
I have it downloaded on Steam, and it has updates all the time. Like,
except for from my understanding, they've had a major, like, not great update, and
did it take all the hats away?
I don't know. I remember seeing something. I can't remember why I ended up seeing the article or whatever, but like, yeah, there's the game is essentially broken, and it's probably hackers and cheaters and stuff, would be my guess. But
yeah, talk about delicious last course, and then I got a question for all of you after.
So I actually beat the DLC. I beat it. I did not beat the main game yet. I'm like on aisle 4. I think there's 4 aisles, and then
the devil,
or spoilers.
That's
not really a spoiler.
It's not a spoiler.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not playing now. Thanks.
But I don't know. The DLC is great. It's not long. I mean, I beat it probably in 3 hours. Like it's not a huge thing, but it's more Cuphead, and it's, you know, it has that charming art style, the music, and it's fun. It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
They added some new weapons. They added some new charms. There's
you get any
some
A
secrets,
ranks,
so it's not. I think I got 1 A rank, but I'm not good at the game. So like, if I get a C+, I'm fine. But most of them are like B-. I'm assuming you need high ranks for like 100%ing it, because my file is only like 37% complete on the DLC.
Yeah.
So I don't know why that would be, but yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time. I don't want to spoil. I don't want to like spoil too much of it. I mean, there's no run and gun, which kind of sucks.
There's no run and guns.
There's no run and guns, which I actually kind of like the run and gun levels. They were a nice break from the boss rush, everything. There's one plane level.
Okay.
I don't know if it's even a spoiler to say how many bosses there are. There's. I don't want to get yelled at for saying spoilers.
If you guys are only listening, the way his mouth just moved, he was like,
he didn't know what to do.
What do I do with my? What do I do with my mouth?
But I recommend it. It's $8. It's $8. If you like Cuphead, you're definitely you'll like the DLC.
Man,
I bought
had
it.
no
I
idea.
can't remember where. I don't know if I bought it on Xbox or Switch. I can't remember which one.
I did play on Switch. I did play on Switch, and it runs fine.
Cool.
The load times are a little long.
Yeah, I haven't played it. I have Cuphead downloaded on Xbox, but I haven't bought the DLC yet. But I wonder the fidelity difference I don't think is there, but I think what you were talking about, I think load time would probably be a little bit better.
Yeah, but I was playing in handheld today to beat the final boss of it, and man, the OLED is so
your hands
nice.
cramp up?
Not really.
Wait, that archaic machine is so nice. I'm so confused. These are so many mixed signals.
It was a joke. It was a joke. But I want a Switch Pro. Everybody wants a Switch Pro. I don't care what. Like, if you bought an OLED yesterday, you would want a Switch Pro. Like, imagine these games.
If you bought an OLED yesterday, you're upset you bought an OLED and you didn't wait until Splatoon came out.
Yeah, I mean the Splatoon OLED's pretty cool, but like I wish it was a Switch Pro. It's time.
Play Cuphead. That's all I'll say. Play Cuphead. When I showed my grandmother Cuphead, she's like, "Oh, I remember this cartoon." I was like, "Well, you don't, but that's all right."
Well, and if you want it, it's going to be coming. We haven't heard anything yet, but it was initially said when it's going to come physical to Switch, it was going to be after the DLC was out. So I would anticipate something sometime. I don't know.
Oh, maybe that's why I bought it on Xbox, so that I could get the full. That's right. That's what I did. I'm like, I know I'm going to buy the physical on Switch, so there we go. Plus achievements, right?
Hey, I unlocked achievements in the game. They popped up.
They just don't count towards anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're like, whose line is it anyway?
There. I don't know. They're there.
All right, Cheesy has a question. I'm ready.
All right, so we're talking about Switch Pro and the Splatoon Switch. I mean, what does this mean for the Switch's life? Because we keep saying that we're like towards the end of the Switch's life.
No, we're halfway through.
So
that's
we're halfway through still.
Mm-hmm.
We're on the downside side of that, but they said 10 years, and we're coming up on March. Will be 6.
Yeah.
That's painful. The reason why it's painful is if they still do this one entry per system, like we're not going to get a Mario until Switch.
That team has to. That team
Galaxy
has to be
1 and 2 were both on the Wii.
On Wii.
That's true.
And Splatoon.
And Breath of the Wild 2.
Yep.
Plus, new Super Mario Bros. Plus 3D World was on Wii U.
But it's been 5 years.
What I want to hear. Say the full question again, though. When do we think it's what do we think's happening?
Yeah, I mean, we had all of these rumors coming up about the Switch Pro yet again, and we're getting a Splatoon OLED, and I'm sure we're going to be getting a Pokemon OLED, possibly a Breath of the Wild. Wait, you don't think we're getting a Pokemon OLED?
Pokemon Light.
It'll be a light.
Because they know their handheld market. They know that it's the handheld market or Pokemon. Yeah,
but it's
players.
on an OLED screen. It's bigger.
So
the Switch OLED Lite. That was a rumor.
Maybe an OLED Lite. Yeah, I mean, they got the screens. I mean, but they're bigger screens. So I don't know.
I just don't think they'll do 2 special edition OLEDs in 1 year.
In less than 4 or 5 months from each other.
It's possible. It's possible.
When they did a Monster Hunter special edition, and wasn't there another one? Was the Smash one? No,
I think the Smash
one and I think there was a Fortnite one around.
That was Fortnite one was Europe only though, right?
But there was
it was in the US.
Smash and Diablo might have been around the same time because there
was a Diablo
Switch.
one.
Yeah, Andre from Game Explain had it. I remember seeing the case. I was like, "Oh, that is the because it came with the soft shell case or whatever."
So it's like, who makes that decision that they're like, yeah, we're just gonna make a Diablo one.
I'm sure Blizzard had to pay some sort of money I mean,
like, did they pay to manufacture it? Maybe.
Isn't there Monster Hunter Switches also?
Yeah,
there was for
Rise.
Yeah,
And then I think Japan may have had was it the Generations or whatever? You know, the one that came out
initially. I don't know. There was one for Rise. It was a GameStop. I think it was GameStop exclusive.
I think there was a Diamond and Pearl light.
That's what I was gonna say.
version.
For Pokemon, it seems like there's been Diamond and Pearl, and then wasn't there also a Sword and Shield? It was also a light, I think.
Yeah, it was light gray. It came out. It had blue and pink on it.
That was the Diamond and Pearl one, though, wasn't it?
No, that was the Diamond and Pearl one. Was black with gold on it.
Yeah,
it's I actually just saw it in. I think I saw it like at a retro game shop or whatever. So the Monster Hunter Rise Switch has a killer dock.
It's got a dock with the dragon on it, and
yeah, and the Joy-Cons have really cool artwork on them as well.
The Diablo one is a cool dock too, I think.
Oh, the Sword and Shield one is really nice. It's like white, and it has the.
It looks like a Game Boy, right? Kind of like the OG Game Boy a little bit.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
And they also had one for Pokemon Let's Go.
Yeah, that was an OG. That was a regular Switch,
right?
But did it have because I know it had the special Joy-Con. Did it have a dock?
It looked like Eevee, it looked like Eevee and Pikachu.
Yep.
And the Joy-Cons were gray and yellow, or brown and yellow.
Brown and yellow. Yep, I remember that one.
Yeah, but that's a Pokemon game that's not handheld. So
yeah, you had to play it with a Joy-Con.
Well, no. You could play that one handheld. You could play it just like a Game Boy game. But my point is that it's a Pokemon game that came with a full-on Switch, not just the lights. But there wasn't lights out at that time either.
It had the pee poo poo Joy-Con.
Wow. That's
a TikTok right there.
There you go. So Japan did get a Monster Hunter Generations.
Like initially, way back when.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just gray Joy-Cons, and there's a little bit of artwork on the dock.
That's probably one of the first ones then.
So that game came out relatively fast.
Didn't get a special edition.
What games haven't gotten a special edition?
What main ones haven't? I guess Breath of Wild.
Yeah,
Kirby.
Wild.
I mean, Breath of Wild's gotten Joy-Con. That's it. Kirby. I mean,
Smash got one.
Luigi's Mansion did not.
I mean, they got the purple and the orange Joy-Con. It's not the same thing, but they came out the same day as Luigi's Mansion.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of, but I mean, even Mario Kart technically has a. I mean, I have 2 Mario Kart boxes.
You have a box. You don't have a special edition Switch.
They're gonna do new bundles this year too with the DLC.
I mean, they could do checkered flag or something. I mean, they could do some cool stuff if
Don't play with my heart crawler.
they're like our hardware.
The dock.
Our hardware units are slowing down. We gotta bump up.
I mean, Josh is contributing to how many? You bought at least 10 Switches, right?
Why do we got to talk about the numbers? It's not.
I have 3. I feel
yeah. I mean.
If you haven't bought more than one at this point, you're not a true fan, I guess.
Yeah.
I wish I had the Smash one. I mean, that one's pretty cool. The Joy-Cons are weak, but the dock is pretty cool.
Yeah. The Smash one is my traveling one. Honestly, that's the one that goes with me. But I need to just put it up for display because I think the Joy-Cons actually drift. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have used them. Okay, sorry. All right. I know the collectors out there are like, why did you even open it? But I did. What do you want me to do? So
I guess the reason why I brought it up is it seems like a lot of people, and like we've talked about it on the show before, is that it kind of feels like Nintendo is just reaching at the end of the barrel. Right now it like they have some good stuff, and I listened to what you guys had to say last week. There's Monster Hunter, there's Splatoon, but there's not like that big IP right now that people are super excited for with Nintendo. It's not like a Mario game or a Zelda game.
Well, there's something on the horizon. They just haven't given us a date or a title or
right.
many details at all.
Yeah. And I don't know. It just feels like there's still so much life in the Switch, but people, it seems like they're kind of losing their excitement, or losing their excitement a little bit.
I mean, is that what we talked about last week? Kind of just the shine wearing off of third party. Like, I'm not excited for anything third party. I think I archived Fall Guys. I don't want to play it on my Switch. I mean, if you don't know any better, I guess, or you don't have any other options, it's a great system, because a lot of things that wouldn't be available are made available in different ways. Doom, in its muddy glory, I guess, 2016, if you want to play it, I guess the sequel is even available. That's not cloud, is it? It's just digital. It's just digital only.
Well, it's gonna get a physical release.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I mean, but then you also have your free-to-play games. You have Fall Guys, you have Fortnite. There's ways to optimize that, I guess, better. If you put Fortnite, for me, has always been installed locally, not on the SD card. It runs a little bit better. Like my son is like 12 levels higher than me in Fortnite, because that's all he's been playing lately. But like, he's only playing on Switch, and most of the time he's playing handheld with a Pro controller or something like that, just with the Switch laying on the floor. And so I mean, there's ways to play games if you want to, but I think the kind of what we were talking about last week is the port everything to Switch has died down a little bit. I think the Switch in its later half is pivoting, or it's becoming a machine that you have to be excited by first and second party stuff. And if Nintendo if Nintendo continues on the path that they've gone this year, there's been some good and some bad. I think Kirby showed well, it played well. It was not, I think it sold well for what it could have sold for, but it's not getting commercially, I guess, recognized by a lot of places. It's not going to be in the running for Game of the Year. It'll win probably maybe Family Game of the Year, potentially. But then they've dropped the ball, I think, when it comes to the sports titles in the last little bit that we've talked about it nauseum. So I mean, that's kind of been addressed. But then, I mean, I think at least everyone here going into at the end of 2021, going into this year, we were expecting Breath of the Wild 2. We were expecting potentially something for the Mario team. We were gearing ourselves up, and without Nintendo even really telling us anything, short of that Breath of the Wild 2 was supposed to come out this year. They pivoted away from that. Going into this year, we were expecting 2017 over again.
Mm-hmm.
And more, I don't want to say we're going to get that next year, but more and more the potential for that is to come next year, because look at all the stuff that came out back half of this year that we didn't know going in. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. What else is coming? We're getting
we didn't know about Switch Sports. We didn't know about Strikers. We didn't know about
Kirby,
Fire Emblem.
We knew. I think we knew. Do we know about Kirby? Or was
Kirby
that
came out?
Kirby.
That was this year, I think.
Early.
They revealed it at E3. They revealed it last E3 or last year around E3.
That's right, because we got to see the. I can't remember the exact date for that one, but I do remember it was a little earlier on, and then we were like, "Whoa!"
And then Splatoon coming out this year. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that was not known going into the year. So maybe Nintendo's sitting on more stuff that's done that we don't know about, and they're not afraid to sit on stuff. They're not hurting for titles coming out the rest of the year, and that I think that's why we're upset, but also not fully surprised that there wasn't a classic like summer direct. The third party showcase was kind of meh. We went over that. I mean, it's some great older games. Again, like we talked about, if you don't have another way to play it, Switch has become a great way to get some of that last gen content. But addressing your question, I guess, where they're going, I think Nintendo had we have to provide the games year one. That ebbed and flowed, I think, a little bit. We got more support from third-party stuff. Everyone wanted everything on Switch for a few years, and then 2 years ago we got a new generation of console, and with the Switch already being underpowered compared to last gen, current gen just kind of blows it out of the water, and it has to be game devs don't want to spend the time or pay somebody else to down res a game. I mean,
yeah, they don't care. Like, just Fall Guys coming out, like, it just made it seem like, third-party devs don't care about Switch anymore.
Well, we saw it with Apex also, right? Like, it was a rough go.
Did you expect much from Apex? Like, I didn't expect much from Apex.
I didn't have high expectations, but it just, I mean, but I've been getting emails from different people, like, and there are a lot of single, like, the Switch is their only console, and so they're glad to be able to at least,
Well, and we have one of those on the podcast. Cheesy, you don't have any of the other consoles, right?
That's right. Yeah.
But do you play third-party games very often?
Sometimes. Yeah.
He played Portal, right?
Yeah, that's like a 20-year-old game at this point.
It still counts, man.
Tomato. All right.
I don't know. Maybe I phrased it wrong, because it just feels like, we're coming to the 6-year mark, and by console standards, we usually are like moving into a different console, where Nintendo, they don't need to do that. But I feel the fans are getting a little anxious, because, like what Crawler is saying, like, next gen kind of blows it out of the water, and not that graphics need to look amazing or anything, but
performance has suffered. Performance
has
suffered.
Run.
It's not even.
I'm
graphics.
one of those anxious people.
It's performance.
Yeah. I don't know. It just feels like fans right now are trying to see, like, what's the next best thing, and that's why so many people want to Switch Pro, which I don't really ever think that was going to happen. That doesn't seem like Nintendo's MO. And we got to Switch OLED. Nobody called that. That's the very Nintendo thing to do, where you expect one thing and they're like, no, you're getting this instead, because we're throwing you off,
Yeah. I mean, more and more looking back at it now, like, the OLED is the 3DS XL version. Like,
right.
I mean,
Rabbids is a clear indicator to me that third parties could dominate on the Switch if Nintendo allows them to use their IP. If it's games made,
Rise even as well, because Rise is a game. They went and did the PC version after the fact, and a game dev. Look at the install base. Like, people can't get their hands on a PS5. I did happen to see 8 Series X's sitting behind the counter at Best Buy today when I went to go pick up my controller. So Xbox is a little bit more available, but people aren't in the current gen quite yet. And there's 3 million Switches out there or whatever, plus more. I mean, because that we haven't had a numbers update in a couple months now. So, I mean, there's a lot of install base, but you have to build something that is going to be worthwhile. Like, Capcom's happy with they're happy and tweeting about 10 million units sold, and 2 million sold within a week. So, I mean, if you build it, they will come, kind of deal. Because it's a niche game that is not widely played. It's been growing in popularity, but it's not their Street Fighter. It's not their Resident Evil. Like, Resident Evil's still kind of neat. I mean, Capcom has niche games, and so, but if they can find something that sells to 10% of the install base, like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, granted, that's PC numbers as well, but they are proof, right? They are proof that like you can make games specifically for the Switch that are awesome. I don't look at Monster Hunter and go, man, I wish these graphics were better. I don't. Like they could be, don't get me wrong. But I'm not upset I can't see every blade of grass. But if I was playing the same Monster Hunter on my Xbox and on my Switch, where it's missing, it's missing textures and that kind of stuff, I'm just gonna go play on my Xbox. I know everybody doesn't have that option, so I get it. But Monster Hunter is proof. Rabbids, proof. The Switch has a massive install base. If there were teams turned loose with the Zelda IP, the Metroid IP, the Star Fox IP, F-Zero IP, like what was it called? Redout or something like that at the beginning of the Switch's life cycle, and it was like that Wipeout.
That was F-Zero. Yeah, it was just like
that. Give that team F-Zero. Right? They've already got a game on the Switch. Let them have F-Zero.
You got at least one guy willing to pay $40,000 just to find out info about it. So
exactly. And what I don't want to see Nintendo doing, and I want to throw Cryptic's message up here. It says, what is your ideal Switch 2 or Switch Pro? Do you want it more in line like a Stream Deck or a Steam Deck, or do you want them to innovate again and try something different? My answer is absolutely not. I want them to stick with the Switch. I don't want them to do the new Switch that only Breath of the Wild 2 is going to run on, because now you have a fan base that's going to be livid, right? Because they've all got to purchase. But that being said, and we've heard other people speculate about the size of Breath of the Wild 2 and everything else. This OLED, the Splatoon one, is gonna sell well. It's gonna sell very well. Johnny's in the camp that he believes it may end up being like an Animal Crossing style, where it gets thrown into the regular marketing material, and we see it for a while. But Nintendo has the ability this holiday to lower prices of their OG games over the last 5 years and start their what are they, the Player's Choice or whatever they end up calling it.
How have we not seen Player's Choice yet?
Because it's thriving. But now that like this year I feel has been relatively niche, and Nintendo kind of getting weird a little bit and leaning into some of their smaller, not quite as popular IP. Pokemon's going to dominate, no question. But what if the Switch Pro its launch title is Breath of the Wild? I think the debate, the real question, are we bothered by the fact that they either give us the Hyrule Warriors scenario where the game doesn't run at all or very well on the regular 3DS and only runs better on the...
But did it even run that great on the 3DS XL?
It was definitely more playable, so but then you have games like Minecraft and Xenoblade that were only available on the new. Mm-hmm. Now you're going to, what do your investors say at that point when your install base for
they got to get
massive sequel?
They got to get ahead of it. They need to do a better job than they did with the Wii U. They need to do a better job, I think, drawing a line compared to what they did with the 3DS, and call it Switch 2, call it Super Switch, something that defines a line. But they've seen so much success, and they've put their eggs all in this basket for the hybrid home console, that they can't really afford to try to pivot back to something else.
I don't want to see them change. I want to see them move forward with the same design, but I want to see improvements. Put some more money into your sticks so that we don't get drift quite as bad, right? Fix some of these issues that have been there all along. Cheesy, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, going back just real quick with the drift, didn't that get fixed with the Skyward Sword Joy-Con?
Yes and no. I mean, I think there's still...
So it's an improvement, but it didn't really get fixed.
I mean, we go back to the white dust coming out of N64 controllers. I think it's always been an issue. Gaming has exploded in the last 25 years. That stuff is... I've had Xbox Elite controllers break. I've had multiple break on me with sticks. Like, it's inevitable regardless of the quality, I think, which is sad. I don't know if it's a product of moving away from the D-pad to joysticks and having it be, but like, I don't remember this being an issue with the DualShock earlier or the 360 controller. Like, the 360 controller would have white dust come out of it as well, but I never had sticks drifting. So I don't know if there's just added components with the motors and the rumble, and
it's lowest bidder.
Yeah, I mean, that's how we send people to the moon too, though. But I mean, yeah,
Switch 2 or Switch Pro, whatever, the best way that they could sell that system would be for Breath of the Wild 2 to run better on a Pro, not like an exorbitant amount, right? But just it runs better than playing it on the OLED or light Switch, whatever. But the Pro is also backwards compatible. Like, that has to happen. They can't just leave a bunch of fans behind that want to play Breath of the Wild 2, but they can't because it's only for Switch Pro. Like, that wouldn't make any sense. But if the console runs a little better than what you already have, that is a way to sell you on the idea. Not necessarily you don't have to get it, but it's going to be a better experience for you.
That's what Sony and Microsoft did with the PlayStation Pro and the Xbox One X. Like, they weren't
best way to play kind of deal.
Yeah, they weren't the next generation like we have PS5 and Xbox Series, but they played the games better than the OG PS4 and Xbox One. That's what I want. That's all I want. I just want a Switch that will run these games better. Give me a solid 1080-60 in handheld, 4K upscaling on the dock. Like, I feel like the technology is there now that they can do that.
They don't like to sell anything for a loss, though.
I don't think it would even be that expensive.
At this point, I think, they could set, like, Cryptic's talking about, like, Xenoblade and how Monolith pushes the Switch hardware deserves to have their game run at something higher than 720p, 540p handheld.
Yeah.
Detail in that world would feel amazing at 1080, 60, or even 1440. Then he says, that's why I'm ready for the next Nintendo console, because some devs have so much talent and are limited by 2017 tech. I would say that it's not
2017 tech, it's 2015 tech.
It's even that, right? Because it's cheaper to use that old hardware.
It's an iPad 4.
Yeah, or like Amazon tablet or whatever. But and Johnny, to your point, when the PS4 Pro and those kind of, I feel like a lot of what we were seeing, other than like the Xbox One X, right? That was then things were in 4K and that kind of thing. But a lot of it was just sped up loading times, right? Like, it wasn't like you were seeing huge like leaps in the fidelity. That's
the jump we need though for Switch is fidelity and frames.
I don't disagree, but I don't know how you do it short of just a slight bump, so that, and I think even the narrative of Breath of the Wild 2 not running on the Switch, right? That's like some random article that kind of went viral on Twitter, right? So there is no firm evidence that that's actually the case. That being said, that would be the game to.
I mean, Breath of the Wild 1 cannot run in certain spots. Korok Forest is a train wreck.
Mm-hmm.
Lost Woods is a train wreck. Breath of the Wild.
Fog is supposed to help. We learned that from the 64.
But yeah, I mean, if Breath of the Wild, the first Breath of the Wild couldn't run smoothly all the time on the OG Switch, if Breath of the Wild 2 is about to be the same or bigger, I don't think it's possible.
Well, and I mean, what's in these OLED docks? Is the 4K ever going to get turned on or whatever? That was, like
it's right next to the Bluetooth switch. Turn it on.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. Interesting conversation. Cheesy, I appreciate you bringing up that question. That was good. We're an hour and 10 minutes, so we're gonna wrap this thing up.
I have one more thing to say.
Please.
Cheesy did not get the memo today. We're all wearing Mario shirts. And Cheesy's wearing a Marvel shirt. Like a Marvel movie come out or something.
It's Thursday.
That's pretty good.
All right. That's enough. That's enough.